Okay, let's dive in. You're building something amazing, pouring your energy into your business, and now you're ready to find the investors who can help you really scale. But what if, instead of navigating all those, traditional networks and endless cold emails, your next key investor isn't waiting in some boardroom? What if they're actually scrolling through social media right now, just waiting to discover exactly what you're building?
Yeah, that's not just a hypothetical anymore. It's really where investment discovery is increasingly happening. Our source material highlights this pretty fascinating statistic from a 2023 LinkedIn survey. It found a full 72% of early stage investors are actively using social platforms.
Wow, 72%.
72%. They're using it to research founders, evaluate business traction, all before they even think about reaching out.
That shifts everything, doesn't it? I mean, your online presence isn't just like a marketing channel for customers anymore.
Exactly. It's become a critical part of your fundraising strategy.
So a mission for this deep dive really is to pull the essential insights and strategies from our source material, show you how to transform your digital footprint into, well, a genuine magnet for attracting investment. Think of it like architecting your online persona specifically with investors in mind.
Hmm.
And actually, if you're looking for resources to help you, get started with that strategic digital presence, optimizing for investor attraction, the source mentions rapidboost.net.
Ah, right.
Yeah, as a place you can look to, boost your social media profiles. It's described as offering help with things like profile enhancements, targeted content strategies, and even growth hacks aimed at accelerating that journey, from being potentially overlooked to becoming investable.
Boosting credibility and visibility right where investors are looking. Makes sense.
Exactly, boosting credibility and visibility.
And what's truly insightful here, I think, is recognizing that your digital footprint really is the new first impression. Investors aren't just looking at a pitch deck anymore, they're looking at you and the authentic signals you're broadcasting online. They're spanning for authenticity, transparency, and crucially, a clear track record of execution.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
So the absolute bedrock, the foundation, is building credibility online. And the source really emphasizes that this starts with optimizing your profiles across the key platforms, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram,
Hmm.
maybe even TikTok if it fits your business and audience, right?
Right.
It's about more than just having a profile. It's making sure every element serves a purpose in signaling that credibility.
Hmm.
That means, professional, approachable headshots, bios that don't just say what you do, but highlight achievements, maybe some relevant press, key milestones, and a really compelling summary of your value proposition.
Absolutely. And maintaining a unified brand voice across those different platforms is just crucial. Whether your brand is, say, serious and data driven or maybe more dynamic and mission focused, that consistency builds immediate trust. Investors need to feel they understand who you are and what you stand for, regardless of where they encounter you online.
So thinking strategically about those like banner images and featured sections.
Exactly. Use them. Showcase recent product developments, significant media coverage, or maybe a key piece of thought leadership you've published. Make that space work for you.
Right, because it's not enough just to say you're building something great. You've got to show the evidence. And that's where showcasing social proof becomes, well, essential. This means actively sharing things like customer testimonials, maybe a great quote, or even a short video snippet.
Yeah, and mentioning high profile partnerships or awards you've won if you have pilot customers, beta users, or some promising early traction. Finding ways to highlight that demonstrates real world validation. It's powerful stuff.
And this next point might sound a bit counterintuitive, especially compared to, traditional polished PR, but transparency.
Ah, yes. Transparency is a huge signal of confidence. Regularly sharing updates on your wins, absolutely, but also being open about the challenges you're facing or the pivots you're making.
Why is that so important?
Well, it signals resilience, adaptability, and honestly, an honest grasp of reality qualities investors deeply value. It shows you can navigate the inevitable complexities of building a business and doing it openly online. That builds significant trust.
Okay, so beyond just being credible, you need to position yourself as an authority, as an expert. Investors want to back founders who possess deep insights into their industry, who really understand market trends, customer pain points, and future opportunities.
Yeah.
Your expertise is a critical differentiator.
And social media is your platform to demonstrate it.
Yeah.
This is where stepping into thought leadership is key. It's about creating content that offers genuine value and insight. Think blog posts, LinkedIn articles, those Twitter threads people do, maybe even short video analyses. Don't just recap news. Offer commentary, break down complex technology in simple terms, or analyze emerging trends. The source points out, and I think this is crucial, that quality and insight resonate far more deeply than just posting frequently.
So quality over quantity.
Definitely. Your goal is to become someone investors actually want to follow because they learn something valuable from you.
And it's not just about broadcasting your own ideas, right? It's also about engaging with the ecosystem.
Oh, for sure. Thoughtful comments on posts from investors or other industry leaders, participating in trending discussions related to your field, this makes you visible to the right people. It shows you're an active participant in the conversation, not just, a passive observer sitting on the sidelines.
That makes sense.
And collaborations. They're also a fantastic way to leverage existing networks. When you participate in webinars, podcasts, or industry panels, share those appearances on social media. And crucially, be sure to tag the co-speakers, the hosts, any relevant organizations.
So that expands your reach to their networks.
Exactly. And it implicitly links you to people investors might already know and trust. It's smart networking.
Okay, so you've established credibility, you're positioning yourself as an expert.
Yeah.
The next layer seems to be about making investors genuinely care about what you're building.
Yes, and the source emphasizes storytelling as the most powerful tool for this. Facts and data are necessary, of course, but that emotional connection, that's what truly humanizes your venture and makes investors want to be part of your journey.
So sharing the founder narrative.
Precisely. Every business has an origin story, and yours is unique. What frustration or insight sparked the idea? What challenges did you overcome just to get started? What motivates you every single day? Sharing this, particularly through visual mediums like video or even some authentic behind-the-scenes photos, can cut through the noise and build a connection that, frankly, data alone just can't.
And highlighting your impact and celebrating milestones, that's another form of storytelling too, isn't it?
Absolutely. Did you reach a significant user number, maybe 100,000 users? Did you graduate from a prestigious accelerator program, launch in a new market? Frame these achievements as chapters in your business's story. Show that tangible progress and potential.
And this is where platforms like Instagram, maybe Facebook, or even TikTok really come into their own.
Yeah, visual storytelling. Using high-quality images, short videos, reels, stories, carousels, it allows you to show, not just tell. You can narrate challenges visually, give a glimpse into your team culture, or walk people through how your tech works in a dynamic, engaging way.
Those visuals often stick with people far better than text-heavy posts, I find.
They really do.
So, okay, you've built that solid online presence. Now it's about using it for strategic connection, for networking. The source makes a clear point here. Investors are far more receptive to outreach from someone they have some familiarity with than a complete cold approach.
Absolutely. Cold outreach is tough. Strategic networking online is key. You need to actively identify and engage with the investors who are actually relevant to your space and your stage.
So research them on LinkedIn and Twitter.
Yes. Follow their content, try to understand their investment thesis, and interact thoughtfully with their posts over time. Just consistent, low-pressure engagement. It builds rapport gradually.
So that when you do eventually reach out directly.
You're not a stranger. You're someone they recognize, maybe someone they've even interacted with before. It makes a huge difference.
And what about participating in those investor-focused online groups or communities?
Oh, that's another smart move. LinkedIn groups, Twitter spaces, Clubhouse rooms if they're still relevant, certain Facebook communities. Many of these are places where VCs, angels, accelerators are active. Being a regular, insightful voice in these forums lets you showcase your expertise and spark conversations organically.
Right, less direct pitching, more demonstrating value.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of sharing live updates either. Posting real-time content from industry events, demo days, pitch competitions, even virtual ones, shows you're actively engaged in the ecosystem.
And tagging people.
Definitely tag organizers, speakers, or even investors who are present. It can increase your visibility and create potential connection points you wouldn't otherwise have.
Okay, so all this activity, building credibility, sharing insights, telling stories, networking it builds momentum and visibility, which I guess leads to the next crucial element, sparking FOMO, that fear of missing out.
Investors are fundamentally driven by opportunity and traction. Highlighting your business's growth and progress online creates that sense of urgency and makes you a much more attractive target.
So sharing metrics.
Yeah, share authentic, quantifiable growth metrics whenever you can, provided they aren't confidential, obviously. Think monthly active users, maybe revenue benchmarks if appropriate, growth percentages, significant contracts signed.
And using visuals helps there too.
Totally. Simple infographics or charts can make this data really easily digestible and visually compelling on social media feeds.
And leveraging external validation is important too, right? Publicizing things.
Huge. Publicize new hires, especially key ones. Distribution partnerships. Any media coverage you receive in respected publications. And again, tag the individuals involved, the partner companies, the media outlets. It adds powerful third-party credibility to your announcements.
And user testimonials fit in here too.
Incredibly valuable here. Share quotes, video snippets, short case studies directly from real, happy users. Authentic stories about how your product or service is solving a real problem for customers. That's powerful social proof. It demonstrates genuine market demand and engagement, exactly what investors are looking for.
Okay, bringing all of this together into a cohesive strategy. It can feel like a lot. But the source does provide a really practical blueprint, doesn't it? Like a 7-step process.
It does, yeah. Step 1. Audit your entire digital footprint. Seriously, look at your profiles, your past content, your consistency. Update everything to align with this goal of attracting investors.
Right. Step 2. Develop a consistent content calendar. Plan out posts that will cover your milestones, share insights, tell parts of your founder's story, highlight testimonials or traction. Consistency is kind of the unsung hero here.
It really is. Step 3. Research and actively follow your target investors. The source suggests identifying maybe 20 to 30 key individuals or firms. Monitor their activity, join the groups they're in, engage with their content regularly. Build that subtle familiarity.
Step 4. Share quantifiable traction. Make it a point to regularly post those non-confidential numbers that show real growth and momentum. Don't hide your light under a bushel, so to speak.
Exactly. Step 5. Initiate conversations. Don't just post and run. Actively engage. Ask questions, respond thoughtfully, and, yeah, be brave enough to share some of your challenges and learnings openly. Vulnerability can build connection.
Step 6. Utilize analytics. Pay attention to what content resonates most with your target audience. Which posts get the most engagement from the types of people you want to reach? Refine your strategy based on that data. Don't just guess.
Good point. And finally, step 7, reach out strategically. Once you've built that rapport through consistent engagement, then use direct messages or maybe a thoughtful comment referencing a mutual interest or previous interaction to initiate a conversation about investment. Aim for warm intros if you can get them, but use the online rapport you've built to make even direct outreach feel less cold.
The source actually illustrates how powerful this can be with that case study of Brightmetrics, the SaaS startup.
Oh yeah, great example. The founders started with a pretty small LinkedIn following under 1,000 people, but they committed. They shared regular updates, not just company news, but thought pieces, glimpses into team growth, customer testimonials.
And they engaged consistently with VC posts.
Consistently. Build a reputation for thoughtful contributions. And this wasn't an overnight thing, right? It took time. About 8 months, the source says.
Wow.
But that consistent, transparent activity led to several investor introductions. And critically, it culminated in a $750,000 seed round led by an investor who had just quietly been following their journey and consistent activity on LinkedIn.
So the secret wasn't some magic bullet.
Not at all. It was simply consistency, transparency, and active engagement over time, patience, and persistence.
So the takeaway here seems incredibly clear and actually quite practical. Using social media strategically to attract investors isn't just like a nice to have anymore.
No, it's really a foundational element of modern entrepreneurial growth. By deliberately focusing on building credibility, consistently sharing valuable insights, telling your authentic story, networking smartly online, and visibly showcasing your traction, you dramatically increase your visibility and attractiveness to potential investors.
It goes way beyond simple marketing, doesn't it?
It really does. It's about actively constructing your digital identity in a way that opens the doors to the capital you need to achieve your vision. The tools are literally at your fingertips right now to become, well, more irresistible to investors.
So don't just treat your social media like a broadcast channel. See it as a dynamic extension of your business, a place for real connection and credible signaling. And maybe consider this final thought from the source. Perhaps consistently sharing the authentic reality of your journey online, including those inevitable challenges, is actually the most powerful signal of resilience and potential that an investor is looking for. What one small step could you take this week, right now, to make your digital footprint just a little bit more transparent and real for those potential investors watching?